Hello, everyone. Thank you for watching. Welcome to another episode of Self-Love Sunday. Today, we're talking about the subject of asking for help. Now, I have to admit that this is something I struggle with. This is a video that I've been postponing putting out because this is just not something that I like to do. I know a lot of people struggle with asking for help. As an empath, I used to put a lot of faith in people and expect reciprocity. And even growing up and having my trust violated by being in an abusive home, and all of these things just contributed to my inability to ask for the help that I need sometimes. Now, I got huge lessons with Saturn transiting my first and second house in regards to asking for help, because if anybody's been through a Saturn transit, you know, especially when Saturn is transiting your first through the third houses, you can really feel the impact personally. Your life just basically gets shaken up. The foundations are being renewed. It's just a major time of transformation. And so you will need assistance at some point when you're going through that part of your journey. So that's where I had to really learn to ask for what I need. But before that, I had to figure out what it is that I actually needed. And as I mentioned, when you're growing up in an abusive environment, especially when you have a narcissistic parent or other people around you that are supposed to be your caregivers, people that you look up to, making you feel invalid for wanting anything. As you continue with this belief into adulthood, it starts to attract certain experiences to you where you feel victimized. You feel like you can't really depend on anyone because you don't have trust. You don't trust anybody. At this time, currently, that we're dealing with the pandemic and everybody's having to make adjustments in their schedule. A lot of people aren't working. Businesses are shut down. A lot of people are going to need some sort of assistance. So I feel like now this asking for help is actually a collective lesson. And this requires a lot of bravery and courage. I feel like because everybody's kind of in the same boat right now, in some way, shape, or form, it makes this process a little bit easier. Huge reason why we don't ask for what we need or ask for help is because we are so concerned with what other people will think of us. And the truth is, people are going to think what they think of you no matter what you do. So don't let that inhibit you from asking for what it is that you need. Because the universe is here to support you. Everything that you need is here for you, but you have to ask. And being concerned with what other people think is a huge part of not being a self-actualized person. That's the first key, right? According to Abraham Maslow, being self-actualized. Being independent of the good opinion of other people, that's the first one. Having no investment in power over others and being detached from outcomes. This is easier said than done. It takes a lot of practice, but I feel like it's something that we should be doing consciously, especially if we are going to build this new world. Because I feel like courage, bravery, and vulnerability, they're pretty much the same energy in different extremes. You can't be vulnerable without being courageous, and you can't be courageous without being vulnerable. Asking for help is a true act of self-love because you are doing what you need to do to support yourself, regardless of any distracting, lower vibrational energies that tell you that you're not worthy, that you shouldn't be in the situation that you're in, that you're less than because you need help from somebody else. You are not wrong for wanting or needing things. It's a part of our human experience to have connection with human beings. We need each other. So if you've experienced an abusive relationship, an intimate relationship, where there was gaslighting and a lot of fear, every time you asked for what you needed, or even implied that you needed something outside of what that individual was willing to offer you at that time, you were made to feel unworthy, or you were forced to usurp some of your personal power. This is the exchange that goes on. And so it creates these situations within our consciousness, our subconscious mind, where now we have to be manipulative, or we just can't directly ask for help. It has to be some sort of roundabout, indirect way for us to get what we need. There's more people willing to help you than you think. And there's lots of ways that people ask for help. Now, this is something that I struggle with as well. I prefer the direct approach when people are asking me for anything. But again, some people are just not there yet. And so they'll ask for help in very subliminal ways. And if you're able to help that person and it's something that's easy for you to do, then go ahead and do that. But I understand that it's a struggle for people sometimes to be direct. From a spiritual perspective, we should never, ever feel ashamed to ask our spirit team for help. They will never, ever tell us no, unlike human beings who might. And that's the thing. We could ask for what we need, but humans have a right to tell us no. Our spirit team, the answer is always yes. Now, it may be not yet, or we have something better for you, but it's never going to be a no. You will never, ever be denied, but you do have to ask for this help. And you can do this in the best way for you. You can do this verbally, mentally. Some people like to write their prayers and petitions and affirmations down to spirit, speaking them. You can do this through feeling or telepathy as well. And your spirit team is available 24/7. One thing that I have found is, especially when you need help with something very challenging, and you ask your spirit team for guidance, you're usually going to be asked to do something out of your comfort zone, even if that something means waiting, which is something that I'm not good at as a fire sign. But always ask for guidance and assistance, especially when someone else is asking you for something that's triggering you, like money, for example. If it's easy for you to do and it's within your means, then go ahead and do it. But if somebody asks you for something and there's a little bit of doubt or any type of trigger within you, then you definitely need to go within and see what that's about. But it could be that you helping that person could actually be impeding on a lesson that they need to learn. It could also be that your resistance is getting in the way, that you are supposed to bless that person financially. I'm just using that as an example. But whenever you feel unsure about anything, ask for guidance. They're available. And your spirit team, they're not like human beings. They're not going to judge you. They're not going to... you're asking for help for the same damn thing over and over again. It doesn't matter. That's why they're here for us, because we need support and help on this journey, in this life. We definitely need it. So don't be afraid to ask for help. Be brave enough, bold enough, courageous enough to get what it is that you need. Trust your intuition and follow it, and know that you are worthy of receiving your good. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day. I'll speak to you again soon. Namaste.